Hey, what is up guys? It's Silver Sun here, and I'm going to be giving you guys a review on the new Powerpuff Girls episode 1 slash reboot slash, well, 2016, whatever you want to call it guys, the new episode of the new Powerpuff Girls series, basically. Now, since this is a reboot, obviously some stuff is going to change, and while we didn't see the rest of the cast, we did obviously see the three main girls, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. And I honestly have to say that their voices, their new voice actors, are okay. I mean, I do like Blossom and Bubbles, but Bubbles, I do like Bubbles and Blossom's voice actors. Like, they sound pretty okay. Like, not terrible or anything like that, but not, exactly the same, obviously. But I don't know. Like, I guess it'll just take some getting used to, but I don't really like Buttercup's voice as it is for right now. It just doesn't sound too, like, it just doesn't sound the same, it doesn't sound like tomboyish or anything like that. It just sounds like a weird impression of her or something like that, basically. And the animation too. I mean, some people were saying, "Oh, it's just gonna be another Teen Titans Go and whatnot. Oh, it's gonna be terrible and whatnot." But I honestly think that, I mean, obviously there's not that much episodes, but going off of this first episode, I have to say this was a really solid episode in my opinion. It was pretty good. While it did seem a bit like um what's the word? I want to say repetitious because I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment down in the comment section below. But the theme of this episode, like, I'm pretty sure they talked about this in the old series and whatnot. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit new, and it kind of was. But like the main message was like kind of the same, more or less. I forgot what episode it was, but it dealt with Buttercup, like chilling out and not being as aggressive as she is and stuff like that. But the animation in this first episode, I have to say, was really good. It was really solid. It was really smooth and whatnot. It wasn't like, um, it wasn't choppy or anything like that. In terms of the animation, the designs are really good. I mean, sure it does. I don't know if it's animated in Flash. I'm pretty sure it is, but if it is animated in Flash, it's animated really well in my opinion. Nothing's really like messed up. None of the faces look distorted or anything like that, except for one particular scene that I'm not going to talk about right now. We're going to wait till we get into the actual episode. But yeah, so basically the episode starts off with the two girls. The professor isn't really there or anything like that. He's just kind of like, I don't know what he's doing, but basically he's not there. They're just chilling, and they're at like this little like what would you call it? Like kind of like a little like hippie festival, basically. Like there's lots of like peace signs, a couple of places and whatnot, and there was actually this little running joke where like this guy would get hurt and like this genie would like predict his future and saying like, oh, there's gonna be a lot of pain in your future. I thought it was kind of funny along with all the other jokes. The other jokes were, well, I don't think there wasn't too many jokes in this episode actually. Like, at least from what I saw, I didn't really laugh all too much. But yeah, basically it just starts off with them like just walking around the festival, the fair, whatnot. Just looking at everything, and then basically Buttercup's just like getting angry, and she's like, why are we even here? This is really stupid and boring and stuff like that. And then basically Blossom's like just explaining like, hey, you need to chill out, like meditate or something. And then, basically they get into a little argument about it, and until this big like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, I don't know, like it's a new villain, but like he's just, I don't know, like I was kind of hoping that an older villain would come back, but not yet, I guess. I mean, we have seen them in the intro, and I do like the intro. It looks really good, very, very fluid, and I actually like the style in it, and whatnot. But anyways, basically, this guy comes in. He's pretty much like this, like, man slash boy thing. I don't know, like, he was like a man and a boy, but like, he's just like a man, but like in a boy's body. Is how he explained it. I don't know. It's just kind of odd, honestly, but I mean, it is what it is. So basically, he comes in. And he's pretty much just like beating everyone up, saying like, "Oh, all you guys suck" and stuff like that. And then pretty much, Buttercup gets really angry about it, and then pretty much she just like starts beating up the robot along with the guy, and then she like even keeps continuing to like just rampage everything and like just destroy everything, like the fair and like all the people and everything. And I don't know, like I just feel like it was a bit much, especially for it being the first episode and whatnot. Like it wasn't anything like serious, but like well, it kind of was, kind of wasn't, but like pretty much after her little rampage, basically she wakes up and then Blossom's just like, hey, you need to stop, and she was like tied up in like this, I don't know, kind of looked like a straitjacket, but it was like this just red ribbon, I suppose, something like that. But pretty much she was just like restrained, and Blossom was saying like this was like the third time or whatever this week you've done this and stuff like that, and you need to chill and like look what you did to Bubbles. And here's where that scene comes in that I was talking about earlier. Like pretty much she like she was just like looking off into the distance or whatever, and then she turned around and she had like a black eye, and I was like taken back honestly, because like I mean, sure, you could say, oh, the intro doesn't have blood anymore or anything like that, but coming off of this first episode, like, this is the first episode, and already we're seeing, like, bubbles out of all the, girls with, like, a black eye, especially from Buttercup. I mean, we've seen that, well, we haven't seen it. I don't think so, at least from Buttercup. Like, the only time I believe Buttercup really, like, hurt her was, like, in that episode where she, knocked her tooth out and stuff like that, but that was kind of it. And even after that, she was just like apologizing a lot and whatnot. But in this, pretty much like I don't know, it was just messed up. It was just like that one scene, she doesn't have it like for the rest of the episode or anything like that. But still, it just seemed kind of like crazy, and I can only imagine what the future episodes would be like. Especially with him involved, the villain and whatnot. I can only imagine how that would go down. But basically, pretty much they go to this like meditation center, this little like hippie place basically, and he's just like explaining, you need to like balance out, water and fire essentially, and then pretty much, she's like learning and trying to, balance out her anger and whatnot, and then pretty much he gives her this like little wavy wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, as Family Guy would call it, but basically he gives her that and pretty much he just uses it to like kind of help her relax and like be easy essentially, and then pretty much later in the episode she's kind of like just mellowed out and whatnot, and then the the villain guy for this episode, I'm not particularly sure what his name is, but like basically him, he just comes back and then he pretty much wants his revenge and whatnot, so he's pretty much just like saying like, hey, where's Buttercup? I have some, stuff I want to talk to her about, and whatnot. And basically, they're just fighting off these like steak monsters, and then pretty much Buttercup's just trying to fight it, but like she can't, cause like she hasn't balanced out, water and fire yet. But by the end of the episode, she does do it, obviously, and pretty much they win, and yeah, that's technically it. And then by the end of the episode, she goes back to being, aggressive and whatnot, and just like hating everything for the most part. And I have to say, it was a pretty okay episode, honestly. Like, I mean, the the main, like plot, the main thing that they were going for here wasn't all too bad, even if we've seen it a couple times before in the older series and whatnot. But still, it was okay. The villain, in my opinion, was I didn't really like him too much. I mean, I would have preferred someone like Mojo Jojo or whatever, but it is what it is. It's as good as it can be. But basically, going off of this first episode, I feel like it was a pretty good episode, pretty solid in terms of animation, the character designs, the character voices, except for Buttercup, kinda. I feel like she could probably use a little bit more work. Everyone else was pretty good, but yeah, I have to say this episode was pretty good. Tell me what you guys thought of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you prefer the older series or do you like this newer series going into it? And speaking of newer series, if this is how the first episode of the new Powerpuff Girls is gonna go, I wonder what the new Samurai Jack episode is gonna be like. I mean, obviously we haven't seen too much of it yet, but when we do, that's gonna be amazing and whatnot. Hopefully, especially it being on Adult Swim and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much just tell me, your thoughts below. Did you like it? Did you hate it and whatnot? What did you like? What did you hate and whatnot? I have to say this episode was again really good, and I'm just gonna basically stop rambling here and yeah, just leave. So pretty much that's it, guys, for me. And until the next one, Silver Sun is out, guys.